Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today, let's take a look at the latest San Francisco 49ers news and rumors. There's a lot of really interesting stuff going on. I want to actually start with something that I was told by a source just the other day, and I tweeted it at my Twitter account, @RealThomasMott. A source told me that the Dolphins have been engaged with trade talks with our San Francisco 49ers for Marquise Goodwin, the wide receiver who basically barely played last year. He's aging and is still owed a lot of money, $10 million over the final 2 years of his contracts. They say they've been working on a deal for the past couple of days. Will it actually get done? We'll have to wait and see, but Miami could be trying to find some cheap wide receiver help for maybe a Tua Tagovailoa if they want to trade up in the draft to go ahead and get him, maybe a Justin Herbert, maybe a Ryan Fitzpatrick who they stay with. I don't care who plays quarterback for Miami as long as you go ahead and take Marquise Goodwin off of our hands because, as you see on your screen right now, trading him would save us $3.6 million in free cap space, which means we could spend that on re-signing Eric Armstead or re-signing Emmanuel Sanders or whatever else the 49ers want to go ahead and do. I would be okay, and I'm actually all for getting rid of Marquise Goodwin as quickly as possible. I know he's that over-the-top speedster burner, but let's just be real. He's not the same player that he once was, and we can do a lot better either in free agency or the NFL draft in a loaded wide receiver draft class. I want to start with what the trade would actually look like. So, potential trade here is this, again, what the source told me. What we're hearing is a mid-round draft pick. So it'd be very, very simple. Dolphins get Marquise Goodwin. 49ers would get a 4th-round draft pick or maybe a 5th-round draft pick. So I know a lot of fans tend to think in their minds, and I do this too, I'm not blaming anybody. They think in their minds, they're like, oh my goodness, right? He's a good receiver. They need a receiver. That's at least worth a 3rd-round draft pick. Those day 2 draft picks are hard to come by. It's more like a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and a 4th round technically on day 2. But you get my point. It's hard to go ahead and get earlier draft picks than a 2nd and 3rd round pick. So 4th and 5th makes the most sense for Marquise Goodwin. So there's your mock trade right there. Go ahead and move over to Marquise Goodwin's stats this past season. This is why he's not going to cost that much. Injuries were a problem, but 12 catches, 166 yards, 15.5 yards per catch, which is really, really good, shows the deep threat, and only 1 touchdown. I know you would lose, again, essentially your best deep threat, and the 49er wide receiver depth chart looks interesting right now, and of course, Emmanuel Sanders, but a big asterisk by that name because we don't know if he's coming back or not, but I would argue, even if you let Sanders walk, and even if you were to trade Marquise Goodwin, I still feel pretty good about this young wide receiver core, and I would not be surprised if you went ahead and added someone in free agency or especially in the NFL draft. If you were to do a trade like this, maybe you spend a 4th rounder on a wide receiver and kind of go, here, you take 30+0 Marquise Goodwin, and we'll take a rookie who can actually be cheaper and younger overall over the next couple of years. What do you guys think? Okay, ad break here on YouTube. Don't worry about the ad running. Scroll down, answer this pinned comment, because I want to see how the fans are feeling about this trade. Would you trade Marquise Goodwin? Right? Now, again, 4th and 5th is not a lot, but would you guys do it? Let me know at the pinned comment down below. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and take a look at Matt Breida, and the rumors are starting to swirl that his time could be up in San Francisco. And we talked about the running back situation in San Francisco for a couple of weeks now, but Breida was plagued by ankle injuries last year. He was really plagued by ankle injuries a couple of years ago. Last time he was actually really, really good was 2018 when he was the leading rusher on this football team, but has since lost his starting job to Raheem Mostert, and you can make the argument has lost the backup running back job to Tevin Coleman as well. And then, of course, you have Jeff Wilson Jr. So it's like, man, where does Breida really fit in? He's not that expensive this year, $2.3 million in cap space. But again, we start adding up all these little cuts, and I did a cap cut video last week, so you guys want to watch that after this video. You guys can see how we can free up more space. But let's say you were to trade Marquise Goodwin. Well, there is, what was it, $3.6 million. You let go of Breida, that's $2.3 million, and suddenly you're halfway to a new Emmanuel Sanders contract. Like, you're halfway there. So I would not be surprised if they do it. I would let Matt Breida walk. I feel comfortable with Colman, Mostert, and Jeff Wilson Jr. being your 3 workhorses in the backfield. And we can just show it by doing a comparison between Matt Breida and Raheem Mostert in terms of their stats. You can see that Mostert has become the workhorse back again. He played more games, but Matt Breida just can't stay healthy with that ankle injury, and when he was in there, not as effective as Raheem Mostert. The depth chart is going to look like this if you were to get rid of Matt Breida. You have Mostert, Colman, McKinnon, and Jeff Wilson Jr. Again, McKinnon is going to be, who knows if he's going to stay on the roster in terms of cutting him or restructuring his deal, but especially if you keep Jerick McKinnon, then letting go of Matt Breida I think is not a problem at all. And if you guys are big fans of Matt Breida, that's fine. He will land on his feet, right? Like, the ankle injury is obviously a problem, but some team will give him, $2 million to come in and kind of compete to be the starting running back, and he'll be fine in terms of his overall career. But I think that this would be the right move for our 49ers to go ahead and free up a little more cap space and also almost open up some opportunities for other running backs like a McKinnon whenever he gets healthy, or Jeff Wilson Jr., who a lot of people were commenting on my videos during the season, like, why aren't we giving the ball to Jeff Wilson as much? Don't know. Maybe because Breida was there and there were like 5, 7, 8, 9, 30 running backs in that group. There were a lot of them. But overall, I think letting go of Breida makes a lot of sense. Although, I want to ask you guys this question. Would you rather have Breida or McKinnon? Now, that's going to be I think it's going to be highly contested because McKinnon's a better running back when he's healthy, but he's just never been healthy. So type B down below for Breida, type M down below for McKinnon. I want to see what you guys think in the comment section down below. Okay, moving on. If you guys are on the fence about betting on sports, I'm here to help you, right? Our friends at BetDSI have given us a promo code. It's just 49ers. You go to chatsports.com/bet, use our promo code 49ers, and then whenever you first sign up, the very first time you do sports betting, you get a 120% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. Again, it's like the best deal that I can find in terms of betting online on sports, and you got March Madness coming up, you got NBA games. Remember Lakers-Clippers yesterday? You could have bet on that game. That was fun to watch. Chatsports.com/bet, use our promo code 49ers. Okay, moving on. How about this one? Not necessarily a rumor, not necessarily anything tied to San Francisco. I want to present the idea to you guys. How about Frank Gore? Would you want Frank Gore back in San Francisco for one final run? He's not retiring, right? That's the big news here. 37 years old in a few months. He's not looking retired. He's been working out, and he wants to play one more year in the league. And you're probably going, Thomas, how good is this guy? I mean, Frank Gore last played for us in 2014, right? Can he actually still be a back that can do things for our 49ers? The answer is yes. Look at this. How about this? Let's just go ahead and throw up the comparison between Frank Gore in 2014 to Frank Gore in 2019. So in 2014, 16 games, 255 carries, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. Fantastic, right? We all remember how good he was back then. This is last year. In only 8 games, how about 166 carries, 600 yards, and 2 touchdowns? Has the guy really lost a step from where he was 6 years ago? I mean, a little bit, but good Lord, he is unbelievable. Who says no to giving Frank Gore a little bit of money and bringing him into San Francisco? I don't see a problem with it. Look at this. How about this? Throw up the 4-stat comparison. Here's Gore, Breida, Coleman, and Mostert all last year. Frank Gore had more carries than any other back on our team. I know we're running back by committee, but you can argue Buffalo was the same way. I mean, listen, he's old, right? He's old. He's going to cost a little bit of money. We have already good running backs. But the nostalgia of bringing back Frank Gore, putting him into that number 21 jersey and just letting him run wild and letting him, be the third running back on this team, mentoring these young backs, I think makes perfect sense and would be a lot of fun. Thumbs up this video if you guys would like Frank Gore to go ahead and come back. I know I would. I mean, again, I see this as a win-win. He still can produce, he'd be cheap, and he can mentor young running backs. I think that's a great trifecta in terms of looking at a free agent running back. But again, some people might not agree, so of course, go and give me a thumbs up if you do. Before we move on, we keep rolling through the offseason, meaning we're doing tons of videos. We have a live video coming up on Thursday. If you want to be notified when that's going to happen, subscribe to the channel down below, and also click the notification bell. That way you're in our notification gang, because YouTube's told us only 30% of you guys actually have the notification bell clicked, meaning 30% of you guys are notified whenever we do new videos, which is not as many as we would like. That way we can have more people watch. That way we engage with you guys. So subscribe down below. We would greatly appreciate it. And finally, I thought about showing you guys what it would look like to trade back in the first round of the NFL draft. Now, we all assume San Francisco, because they have 0 day 2 picks, are probably going to go ahead and trade back. I expect them to trade back. So the question is, what would it look like to go ahead and move back in the draft? So before I show you what it would look like, I want to go ahead and kind of poll the audience here. Would you want to stay put at 31 or move back? Now, again, I haven't told you what we're going to get for it, but I wanted you guys to go ahead and scroll down and either type T for trade or S to stay at number 31. I'm just curious what you guys are going to do. Okay, go ahead, scroll down, go ahead, type it up. Give you guys a second. Okay, did you do it? All right, come back up. Here's what it would look like. If we were going to trade back, this is most likely a trade that could happen. So the Colts have a lot of picks. They have a lot of cap space, and there's a possibility that they're sitting in the early, well, they are sitting in the early, I think they're either 12 or 13, of then moving back into the second round, then try to trade back in at number 31 and maybe get a wide receiver, because we know that Jacoby Brissett, or whoever plays quarterback for them, maybe they trade for Nick Foles, could use a new wide receiver. So let's assume we're trading with the Colts, who have a lot of cap space, a lot of draft picks, and can make a lot of moves. We would go ahead and get number 44 overall, which is a Colts second-round pick. We would get a third-round pick from the Colts. The Colts would then, from us, get number 31, and then possibly one of our fifth-round draft picks. So we get a second and a third, and they get a first and a fifth. What do you guys think? Right? So did you change your mind on trading a back? Do you like the idea of staying? This, to me, shows the value of being at 31 versus being up higher. We were sitting at 13, 14. You could probably get another first-round draft pick in the future for trading back. You could do really, really well in terms of trading back when you're sitting at number 31, right? you don't get a lot of extra additions in there because 31 is pretty close to 44 overall. So I wanted to show you guys, not to discourage saying that we shouldn't trade back, because I still think that unless your guy, Grant Delpit or someone else, is there, trading back is a very real option. Now, because we have no day 2 picks, you go ahead and get a second and a third rounder, and suddenly you go second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh. Like, you have a lot more picks to go ahead and maneuver with in a very deep draft. But I think this might come as a surprise to a lot of people that if we do trade back, you're not going to get as much as you would possibly expect. A second, a third, and then maybe a first and a fifth is most likely overall what I would expect to go ahead and get for a trade like this. There you go. How about that? That's a fun day today, right? We got real rumors, real news, and reporting real stuff from Marquise Goodwin. That is real. I have that source very, very well. But potential of Breida leaving, maybe you bring in Gore to replace him, and then finally, what it would actually look like to go ahead and trade out of the first round. All the time we have for today. For the 49ers Report, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.